Listen up, tennis fanatics across the map, especially the millions of heart-pounding, flag-waving loyalists from the Philippines and Canada, strap yourselves in. We have a major situation developing in Abu Dhabi. Everyone loves to fantasize about the ultimate clashes, the Federer versus Nadal classics, the Williams sisters showdowns. Yet, a volatile storyline has been quietly bubbling beneath the surface of the women's tour for the past 3 years. It is a saga built on bloodlines, cultural identity, and the friction between the homegrown prodigy and the international icon. This is the face-off that every single Filipino enthusiast has debated in chat rooms and secretly hoped for every time a tournament bracket is released. At long last, the tennis deities have responded, though they delivered a plot twist that absolutely no one predicted. They dropped a bombshell that caught the entire world off guard. The brackets for the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open are live. A collective gasp has just torn through the paddock because we are not waiting until the quarterfinals for the fireworks. Forget waiting for a Sunday trophy match. We are witnessing this heritage battle the moment the gates open in round 1. In one corner, you have Alex Eala, the pride of the archipelago, the Nadal Academy alum who carries the sporting hopes of an entire nation on her left shoulder, facing off against Leylah Fernandez, the US Open runner-up, the fierce Canadian lefty with Filipino fire in her veins who enchanted New York and proved herself a lethal warrior. However, here is the curveball that has the entire tour buzzing. We are not watching a singles duel. This is a doubles brawl that feels more like a fight to the death. It is a collision of storylines, even if the record books do not show a long history between them. On one side of the net, Eala joins forces with her Southeast Asian comrade, Indonesia's Janice Tjen, forging a partnership that represents the rising tide of ASEAN tennis. Across the net, Fernandez has summoned the heavy cavalry. She is not pairing up with just anybody. She has enlisted one of the era's premier doubles specialists, the multi-time Grand Slam winner, Kristina Mladenovic. The marquee reads simply Eala versus Fernandez, but the subtext is colossal. Abu Dhabi. Opening round. Why is this breaking the internet right now? Because this transcends a standard game of doubles. It represents the intersection of two very different journeys to greatness. You witness Eala grinding through the challenger circuit, making history as the first Filipina junior slam champion, earning every scrap of respect. Conversely, you have Fernandez, who catapulted to global superstardom overnight in 2021, dancing with titans under the brightest lights. Both are left-handed, both are scrappers, both are fueled by that relentless Filipino spirit. Now they stand as adversaries, prepared to exchange fire in a contest that pundits will be dissecting for years. In this special broadcast, we are looking beyond the baseline to understand the soul of this encounter. We will break down the strategic nightmare that a veteran like Mladenovic presents for the young Filipina. We plan to evaluate the synergy or potential friction within these newly formed duos. We will explore the shared history that exists less on the court and more in the collective imagination of the fanbase, and we will ask the ultimate question: can the underdog Southeast Asian team topple the Grand Slam pedigree of the Fernandez-Mladenovic alliance? Grab your snacks, settle in, and do not blink. The Heritage Civil War has finally arrived, and it is unfolding in the desert sands. Let's get into it. Let's address the shock factor first. Why is the whole tour caught off guard? Typically, doubles brackets are ignored by casual viewers, treated as glorified practice sessions, but this is a premier 500-level event. The money is huge, the prestige is real, and the roster is absolutely stacked. When prospects like Alex Eala sign up for doubles, it is usually a tactical play to gain court familiarity and sharpen the net game required for cracking the top 100 in singles. For Leylah Fernandez, however, the doubles court has always been a legitimate battleground. She has contested a Roland Garros final in this discipline. She knows exactly how to win here. The mathematical odds of Eala and Fernandez, the two biggest icons of Filipino tennis heritage, colliding in the round of 32 are virtually non-existent. It feels like a movie script or a wish granted by a genie. But we must strip away the romance and look at the brutal challenge facing Eala. We have to address the juggernaut standing across the net, the Fernandez and Mladenovic coalition. We need to have a serious conversation about the squad Alex is up against. If Leylah were paired with a random journeyman, you might say Alex has a fighting chance, but that is not the case here. She is sharing the court with Kristina Mladenovic. And if that name does not ring a bell, let me educate you. In this format, she is absolute royalty, boasting multiple French Open titles to her name. She is a titan of the doubles game, boasting an Australian Open crown and a reign as the world #1. Few players on tour grasp the geometry of the court like she does. Mladenovic brings those priceless intangibles. She masters the angles, dominates the net with poetic poaching, and knows exactly how to rattle the rookies. Pair that veteran IQ with Leylah Fernandez, and you have magic. Leylah is explosive, twitchy, and owns some of the softest hands in tennis. She can dig a half volley off her shoelaces for a winner, and her left-handed spin is a nightmare for opponents. Essentially, you are looking at the Grandmaster Mladenovic alongside the firecracker Fernandez. On paper, this squad screams championship material, a lethal cocktail of power, finesse, and that tricky lefty-righty dynamic. With Mladenovic on the right and Fernandez on the left, it is the ultimate tactical setup and a massive test for Alex Eala. This feels like a grand final happening in the opening round. Enter the underdogs. Eala and Tjen, the pride of Southeast Asia. Flipping to the other side of the net, we have Alex Eala and Janice Tjen, a duo that lights up the hopes of Asian tennis fans. Janice Tjen is a sensation from Indonesia, and her partnership with Alex is far from a random draw. They are contemporaries, the rising stars of their region. We know Alex well. We know that heavy, lefty topspin forehand. We admire her fighting spirit, but doubles is a different animal. Alex's singles game relies on baseline warfare and grinding rivals into dust. She loves hunting open space with power, but in doubles, you cannot grind, you hesitate, and you get crushed at the net. The secret sauce for Eala and Tjen is sheer audacity. They are the clear, long shots in this fight. Nobody expects them to topple a slam winner and a US Open finalist, but that nothing-to-lose vibe is their deadliest weapon. They must turn this match into a brawl. If they play polite, traditional doubles against Mladenovic, they are finished. Mladenovic will devour them at the net unless Eala uses her heavy spin to pin the veteran deep and keep the ball away from the volleyer. If Tjen can stay active and break Leylah's rhythm, they might just open a window for this rematch narrative to breathe. Now, where history meets reality, we have to address the elephant in the room: the rematch. The headlines scream rematch, but the hardcore stat nerds are confused, asking, wait, have they ever actually played on the main tour? Check the official WTA record books. Alex Eala and LeylahFernandez have never had that defining singles showdown. We have not seen them battle on center court at a slam. So, what is this a rematch of? It is a rematch of the practice courts. It is a rivalry built on junior circuit whispers and years of circling each other in the rankings. They have sparred at the Miami Open and shared the hard courts during the US Open. You see photos of them beaming together like tour sisters, but do not be fooled, practice sets can be ferocious. This rematch implies deep familiarity. Leylah knows Alex's serve targets. Alex knows Leylah loves to run around her backhand. Moreover, it is a civil war within the fanbase. For years, a divide has existed. One camp claims Leylah is supreme because of her slam final, the other insists Alex is the true icon for flying the Philippine flag. Even though this is doubles, the match reignites that debate and drags all those emotions to the surface. When they step onto the asphalt in Abu Dhabi, it is not just four athletes, it is two distinct brands of Filipino excellence colliding. Point 5. The technical breakdown. This is pure lefty-on-lefty violence. It is fascinating because both Alex Eala and LeylahFernandez swing from the southpaw side. Usually, lefties enjoy a massive edge because their spin rotates the opposite way, baffling opponents. But when a lefty meets a lefty, that advantage evaporates. The spin feeds directly into the other player's striking zone. Alex's cross-court forehand, her biggest gun, fires straight into Leylah's forehand, which is also her kill shot. This guarantees we are going to witness some high-octane forehand slugfests. However, Leylah holds the edge in agility. She is one of the premier movers on tour, slicing through the court effortlessly. Alex is sharpening her footwork, but she is naturally a power hitter rather than a counterpuncher, especially in doubles. Leylah will look to intercept Alex's shots and rush her. Alex's only counter is to rip the ball down the line. If she goes cross-court, she plays into Leylah's hands. If she goes down the line, she targets the right-handed Mladenovic. But that line shot is treacherous, the net is higher, the court is shorter. This will test if Alex has matured tactically. Can she pull the trigger on those high-risk winners with Mladenovic breathing down her neck? Point 6. The Abu Dhabi factor. Why does this venue matter? The Middle East swing is brutal. The courts are lightning fast, the sun is blinding, and the wind is unpredictable. For Eala, snagging a spot here is a massive opportunity. Every single point matters for her standing on the leaderboard. Even in a team format, scoring a victory against a powerhouse duo like Fernandez and Mladenovic would be a game-changer for her morale. In this sport, self-belief is the only currency that matters. Alex has endured a chaotic roller coaster ride to kick off the year. She touched the sky during the Australian Open qualifiers only to crash hard in Manila. She is desperate for a headline-grabbing triumph. It does not have to be a trophy hoist, but a specific instant where she stares down the giants and declares, "I have arrived." Taking down Leylah Fernandez, even on the doubles court, would be that defining statement. It would send tremors through her entire campaign. It would prove to her, "I can trade blows with a U.S. Open finalist." But for Leylah, this is strictly business. She is hunting for the crown. She is not interested in fairy tales. She is a consummate pro looking to stack up wins before the next Grand Slam rolls around. Yet, in the back of her mind, she feels the gaze of the entire Philippines locked onto this showdown. The weight of expectation is real. She plays the role of the big sister in this rivalry. Losing to the rising star is simply not an option she can entertain. That hierarchy adds a delicious layer of psychological warfare rarely witnessed in an opening round doubles clash. Let us break down the 7 deciding factors. So, how does this script unfold? We need to analyze 3 pivotal elements. First, the Mladenovic factor. I cannot stress this enough. Kristina Mladenovic is the ultimate wildcard. When she is operating at peak performance, she is arguably the most dangerous athlete on the floor in this format. She owns the net with terrifying authority. Eala and Tjen must devise a strategy to disarm her. Maybe they toss up lobs. Maybe they fire rounds directly at her body to cramp her style. If they let Mladenovic find her groove, this ends rapidly in straight sets. Next, the service game. Neither Alex nor Leylah possesses a cannonball serve like Sabalenka or Rybakina. They depend on surgical placement and wicked spin. Consequently, expect to see serve breaks galore. The duo that can protect their serve and seize the free points will reign supreme. Alex has been dialing up her velocity. This is the final exam. Can she paint the lines when the heat is cranked up? It brings us to chemistry versus raw skill. Fernandez and Mladenovic have the pedigree, but Eala and Tjen might have the synergy of being hungry underdogs. Sometimes, 2 loose friends can dismantle a super team that hasn't found its rhythm. If Leylah and Kiki suffer from crossed signals, leaving the center court exposed, Alex and Janice need to strike like cobras. Point number 8 involves the macro perspective. Zoom out, and this match is a festival of progress. Consider where Philippine tennis stood 10 years ago. Who could have dreamt of a blockbuster WTA 500 showdown in the Middle East headlined by 2 stars of Filipino heritage? It proves the sport is exploding. It validates every sacrifice made by the Eala and Fernandez clans and the armies supporting them. No matter who takes the win, the snapshot of Alex Eala and Leylah Fernandez clasping hands at the net will be legendary. It will be plastered across every sports column in Manila. It will go viral in every chat group and forum. It symbolizes the collision of the current era and the horizon. Leylah is the now proven lethal elite. Alex is the future crashing into the present. She is ravenous, gifted, and relentless. And do not overlook Janice Tjen. This is a colossal platform for her as well. A victory here etches her name onto the global map and elevates Indonesian tennis right alongside its neighbor. It is a triumph for the entire region. So, what is the bottom line? We are looking at a contest that exceeds the sum of its stats. On the bracket, it is just line 14, Eala and Tjen versus Fernandez and Mladenovic. In reality, it is a cultural phenomenon. We will witness raw emotion and fire. Will Alex be blinded by the spotlight? Highly doubtful. She has grinded at the Nadal Academy. She has walked on the big stages. She is prepared for war. Will Leylah Fernandez go soft on her compatriot? Absolutely not. Leylah Fernandez does not understand the concept of mercy. She treats every rally like it is match point at Flushing Meadows. That is exactly why the fans adore her. Expect a lightning-fast pace. Doubles does not wait around. With no ad scoring and a super tiebreak replacing the third set, it is a sprint. The pressure never lifts. One sloppy game, one lazy volley, and the set vanishes. This format rewards the audacious. It favors the team willing to gamble. For the spectators, pick a side if you must. Or don't, that is the beauty of the game. Just savor the caliber of tennis we are about to experience. Appreciate that 2 icons of Filipino excellence are battling at the summit of the WTA Tour. My verdict? If I had to place a bet, the smart money rides on Fernandez and Mladenovic. The gap in experience is simply too massive to ignore. Mladenovic's touch at the net is basically a cheat code in this tier. But never count Alex out. She thrives on being the underdog. She loves it when the odds are stacked against her. With Janice Tjen by her side, fighting for Southeast Asian pride, they might just conjure some magic in the desert. This is the allure of the Abu Dhabi Open. It delivers these unscripted moments. The suspense is palpable, the clash of narratives is set, and the fireworks are about to start. I'm tracking every rally, every set, and every single stat of this showdown. We'll dissect the handshake, the interviews, and the drama, for this isn't just a game. It is a monumental chapter in the history books of Philippine tennis. Now, I need to hear from you. Who do you think takes the win? Will the veteran might of Hernandez and Mladenovic crush the rookies' dreams? Or will the hunger of Eala and Tjen spark the biggest upset of the tournament? And crucially, who are you backing? Team Alex or Team Eala? Or are you just thrilled to see them both on the same court? Post your best guesses in the comments below. Let's get the debate raging. If you love this look at the year's wildest doubles draw, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. We'll have a full breakdown the second the final ball is struck. For now, keep your eyes glued to Abu Dhabi. The civil war is here. This is your host signing out.